Hi, y'all. So, this interview is with J.L. Butterworth, and we had some technical difficulties, but thanks to Timothy, and I will tag him, he saved us, and we have the audio of this interview. So, I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys go get his book. It was very good. It is worth every minute. What a world.
Is there any would like to say or start their journey and coming in with your set and heavy?
Let's see. Well, this is actually the first book I've published in 13 years. I actually published a book back in 2013, written purely out of spite, and published just to prove to myself that I could. And actually, it sold surprisingly well. Like, sold over 1,100 copies in the first year. I don't even know how I did that because I did not market it at all. And now I'm back. My life is a completely different place. I've learned a lot. I'm a different person than I was 13 years ago, and I'm now back trying to really make a go of things. So that's what the unknown before us is. It's me saying, "Hey, I'm here. Give me validation, like the things I write."
Well, it was very, very imaginative. I will say that the world building was very nice. It was very easy to follow. Everything kind of just meshed together. You actually could visualize, almost like watching. If you've ever The Galaxy way back in the day. It's an old movie, but it reminded me of The Galaxy. You should look it up.
Really? Okay.
And it gave that feeling. So it helped me envision the book more because obviously I read a lot. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, so I was really excited to get to read your book. But in my brain, I had to find a way to kind of so I did what I was reading. Mm-hmm. So I tried to connect it to things I've seen, of course. And that was one movie that stood out in my brain as I was reading your book. It was actually really neat.
Nice.
We'll get
I'm
into
glad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And well, I know Home Improvement and Guy is the one who plays in Galaxy, and that's who I saw as one of your main characters in my book.
Is that
I
Galaxy Quest?
Home Improvement. Yes, yeah, that.
Yes, okay, yeah, that's a great movie. Totally valid comparison. I will take it.
Yeah, it just that's how I was able to see more of it in my head, which made it really interesting. And I know a lot of people say don't do that, but when you're reading something that's kind of out of your norm, it's sometimes easier to visualize something you know and love,
Of course.
So don't hold it against me. I was paying attention. So we always ask you a bunch of questions, and sometimes one question leads into another question, so we don't always ask them all on here, so don't freak out. And if you have a different answer, that's okay too, because all we do is ask you so you know. We don't look at the answers. We like the surprise. Right. So you said your first book was Out of Spite. So what seeded this book? What gave you the one?
After my son was born, when you're dealing with a newborn, you're going to be up late at night, and there's nothing else going on, and it's not like you can do much with a newborn. They just kind of stay where they are, so you watch a lot of TV, and I decided to pick up on Star Trek, which I never really watched before, shamefully, but I really got into it, and The one thing that always annoyed me though is because like I love science. I'm a huge animal guy. Like I'm actually into science, and they never talked about the alien animals like ever. Like in any of the series I watched, occasionally you might get snippets of like, hey, there's this cool alien animal or dangerous or weird thing, but I'm like, what if I had a book that was dedicated to like alien animals and exploring that? So I decided to make up a scientist character and go explore alien worlds, and that's what started me off.
And the funny part is that had you watched Stargate, you might have gotten that. So I'm glad you didn't watch Stargate. I'm glad you watched Trek instead of Stargate, because Stargate has the animals, Star Trek doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I've got another one coming,
I'm
so I think
certified
Stargate
nerd.
might be this time.
Hey, I'm always down with Stargate. Okay, forever. I am just a big giant nerd.
Nice.
Well, one of the questions is actually if your book was adopted into a TV or television show, and instant you put I'm reading what you put, and I'm just thinking in my head, all I see now is Stargate. I shouldn't have said nothing about Stargate. I love Stargate. Let our inner nerd run free. What's the significance behind the title that you chose?
The significance behind that was that, a lot of people are driven in their everyday lives by like fear of the unknown. Like you don't know where things are going, you don't know what the future looks like. And the whole book is basically saying, regardless of what your past is, regardless of what you're facing, you need to move forward into the unknown and embrace it. Because, change is one of the only constants in life. So there's no point in fearing just life. You need to keep going, and just take care of things.
And that is an amazing statement. Trust me. Everybody needs to understand that. We here thrive on that comment, actually, that you keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
So my sister is looking at me like, because I say that too much. So I noticed, of course, we've talked, and I've told you, I was trying to find all your social media because I was like, oh, you reached out to us. Let's find you. And I saw you were on Threads. Do you plan on reaching out to other platforms and getting a little bit of friction for your book?
Yeah, I would like to. I'm kind of all over the place right now, like just trying to reach out to bookstores and reach out to libraries and
right.
I'm trying to reach out to just about everybody right now. I need to do more of that, to be honest, because right. I've got 3 kids, one of which is a toddler, and I've got a 4th on the way, and like I work full time, and I've got 5 cats, so I only have so much bandwidth.
So everybody who's watching, understand we need a PA that isn't going to charge a bunch of money to help him out, please.
I'll take it. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, some PAs will do it just for the experience of helping you. So trust me, this might help you get that person that will help you out. So don't doubt it now.
Believe me, I would love that.
What do you enjoy doing when you're not writing?
When I'm not writing, honestly, I enjoy hanging out with my family, surprisingly, especially of all things, my toddler. I love the little boy to death because he's like a carbon copy of myself, but different in the best ways. So I enjoy hanging out with him, as exhausting as it can be. Video games, of course. I love video games. I don't play them nearly so much as I would like to these days, but still find some time now and again. And I like to watch good movies and shows, of course.
So tell me one thing about your book that you absolutely felt like had to be in the book.
All right, so you read the book. Fats is like the number one thing that had to be in the book, right? So, you know what? I got the whole idea for it, and I started writing the book, and I'm like, you know what? I had recently lost Fats because he was with me for a decade, and he was like, you know, they say you have like a soul cat, like a cat that just like gets you and is like your best friend. That was him, you know, and I lost him probably 6 months before I started writing this book. And I started on, like, you know what? They need to have a ship cat. The book needs a ship cat. It needs to be Fats, and then like, I developed a whole mythos behind ship cats for the book, specifically because of him. And if you actually take your copy and flip it over on the back,
you know, a sassy cat.
yes, yeah, absolutely needed a good sassy cat in there. But if you flip your copy, yeah, there he is right on the back. Yeah, I had to pick when I put in for the ISBNs. I had to pick an actual like business name, so I went with Two-Toned Books. So he's you know, my publishing name.
And then here's your book for everybody to see. And of course, you know, I had to go get my copy because it's me.
Of course.
And if I don't have the book in my hands, it didn't happen. So we always want to ask one last question before we ask the last question. Is there anything you want readers to know?
Oh, let's see. Anything I want readers to know? You know, I don't remember if you asked this on the form or what I put there, so I'm just gonna look fly off the top of my head for it.
That's fine.
But I've told people that to read this book is to know me, you know, fairly well, because the two main characters, Arcadia and Blaze, are just two halves of myself. Like, you know, I have both autism.
That.
Yeah, I have both autism and ADHD, and so I wrote these characters as Arcadia is my autism and Blaze is my ADHD. So each character is just written as if, what if I didn't have to deal with the other side of myself when writing this character?
Oh my goodness. I could see it now. My sister has something to ask.
Okay.
Hey JL, I just wanted to pop in real quick to say, like, I'm with you there. Like, I get your struggle and I understand that. And yeah, I think that is not just one, two is just absolutely fantastic. But I actually wanted to ask you a question too. Like, what writers or books do you consider your biggest influences?
Now, funny. Okay, funny enough is that my biggest writing influences have been horror writers. So, like, I started out when I was you know, early teen, maybe not even teen yet, but like reading Stephen King. And my grandmother, who was supportive of me, who I later learned was actually kind of a big nerd. You know, as nerdy as you can be when you're, you know, born in the 30s or 40s. But she actually got me like a book of the month club for Stephen King books specifically. So I read so much Stephen King growing up. Clive Barker also. But a lot of my inspiration actually comes from movies and TV because, you know, I was, you know, a fairly lonely kid a lot, and my grandmother had an enormous shelf full of movies. So I watched movies all the time of all types of movies. Like we had a big shelf full of Disney clamshells, for example. Classic movies, big time movies. Like I watched lots of movies growing up and TV too. So that's a lot of my inspiration. But writing inspiration definitely comes from the horror side.
Okay, well, thank you for answering that. I sure do appreciate it. I'm gonna hand you off back to my sister.
All right, Mr. JL. I want to finish on this last little question, and we always ask, what would you like to ask us? And you said, what would we like to see in the sequel? And my instant thought when I saw the answer to the animals, and if you don't know, I am a dog lover. I was not supposed to have kids. My daughter is a medical miracle. And before I had my daughter, I have 3 dogs that are allergic to cats. So my plan was to have a dog sanctuary. I was going to make my husband build a big fence around my backyard. I was going to get a ton of kennels and help all the dogs. That was my plan. And thank God I still love them. So I want to see more animals. Muted. Oh, you're muted, hon. Hold on, you're muted.
Okay. There we go. We good?
There you go.
All right, there we go. That was weird. Anyway, the sequel so far, like in my head, because I'm only like 4 chapters into it so far, but in my head, it's like maybe a little lighter on animals, but maybe I can work some more in. But if you're a dog lover, what did you think of Tank in the first book? He was only in 1 chapter, but Tank, the clone dog.
It felt like it was so short, and I'm trying to like. That's kind of what made me think more, because I get you're a cat lover, but you know, some of us, we have backyard cats, we call them, where we can't touch them, but they're there.
Yep, I know the kind.
Yeah. Well, it was lovely getting to meet you, and I really, really, really hope that you'll come back when you do write that sequel, and we'll get to read it and enjoy it with you.
All right, we'll do.
Thank you so much. And I already blasted you up on TikTok, but trust me, we're not done yet.
You have to link me to your TikTok. I don't think I've seen that yet.
I'll send it over to you.
All right. And my next book will be coming before you know it. So it's going to be a fantasy book. And it's honestly, in my opinion, is the best thing I've written. So I'm going to try and get that out before you know it.
Well, just let me know when you need ARC readers. I'll be here.
All right, we'll do.
Have a good one.
All right, thanks. I'll see you around.
Bye-bye.
Bye.